Monumental Moments, where we live to multiply His movement. I'm Melissa Motschenbacher, and this is a place we passionately pursue and proclaim Jesus. Today's Monumental Moment is titled, Don't Look a Gift Horse in the Mouth. Did you know you can determine a horse's age by looking at their teeth? It may sound crazy, but it's true. Back in the day, my dad could open a horse's mouth and look at their teeth and with the utmost certainty tell you the horse's age. I remember being so intrigued as a young child, wondering how on earth that was even possible. As a very little girl, I even at one point asked my dad to look at my teeth and tell me how old I was. I know, kids say the darndest things. I grew up a bit. I guess you can say I cut my teeth at our family farm. I decided to do a science experiment and enlist my dad for his help. Together, we walked through the horse barn stall by stall as I tried my best to determine the age of every one of our horses. I ended up getting better over time. You can look at a horse's teeth, the wear and shape and angles to get a pretty accurate read on their age. I had to research to refresh my memory and was reminded that a horse's permanent teeth are evident by the age of 5. The dark centers of their teeth, known as the cups, have usually disappeared by the age of 12, and grooves also begin to form and set in at the age of about 10. The longer the horse lives, the more their tooth shape changes from oval to more of a triangular shape. There is certainly a studied science to reading horses' teeth. Speaking of a horse's mouth, I remember an old saying that my mom used to say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. In other words, don't look at the fault within something that's been given to you as a blessing. If you've been given a gift, be thankful. This old saying supposedly originated in the 4th century when the practices of determining a horse's age and health could be identified by looking in their mouth and at their teeth. It was considered rude and even ungrateful to question the value of the gifted horse. I'm being brutally honest here with you. I just looked a gift horse in the mouth. I was moping around my house with my own little pity party when suddenly I was made keenly aware of my fault and my guilt. The home was quiet, eerily quiet, and I didn't like it. You see, my oldest daughter had come to visit for an extended stay with her 105-pound yellow lab named Nikki. They spent a couple months with us over the holidays as Denver became her home base for work for a bit. I loved the extra time and family meals and conversations. I'll admit, Nikki grew on me too and captured my heart despite the added yellow dog hair. It was worth it to have my girl home. The time had come for her to head back to her house. 6 a.m. came early with the daylight savings time change. She packed every square inch of her car, loaded Nikki, and hugged me goodbye. My husband, too, held me, and he kissed me goodbye as I wept uncontrollably. It never gets any easier. My husband hopped in the driver's seat to help her on her 18-hour drive back home. I watched the red taillights drive off into the distance and walked back inside the quiet house. No dogs to greet me at the door and no daughter making espresso coffee in the loud coffee machine. It was quiet. And I began to cry. I moped my way to church alone. I cried shopping at the grocery store, purchasing groceries just for me for the week. I cried coming home to no dog greeting me at the door and no child to say hello to. I cried my way through the entire day. Then the Lord brought perspective to my heart and attitude. I was looking a gift horse in the mouth, as my mom used to say. I was looking at what felt like a loss and not even acknowledging the gain that I had over the past several months. I had a gift, a blessing of extended time with my daughter. It was precious. How quickly I had forgotten the blessing only to dwell on the loss. Yes, goodbyes can be hard, but what a joy to have the gift of time together. James 1:17 says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. John the Baptist said in John 3, verses 27, a person cannot receive even one thing unless it is given him from heaven. God is the Father of good gifts. He loves to bless us in so many ways. How are you viewing the gifts he's given you? Are you thankful? Do you recognize his blessings? Or are you depressed and in a downcast spirit because you're dwelling on the wrong things and have a wrong perspective? Psalm 42:5 in the Message version says, "Why are you down in the dumps, dear soul? Why are you crying the blues? Fix my eyes on God. Soon I'll be praising again. He puts a smile on my face. He's my God." Psalm 42:11 says, "Why are you down in the dumps, dear soul? Why are you crying the blues? Fix my eyes on God. Soon I'll be praising again. He puts a smile on my face. He's my God." Psalm 43:5 says, "Why are you down in the dumps, dear soul? Why are you crying the blues? Fix my eyes on God. Soon I'll be praising again. He puts a smile on my face. He's my God." This exact verse is mentioned 3 times in these 2 chapters. Sometimes we need the repetition. Let this be a reminder for all of us to fix our eyes on God and his precious son, Jesus, and be praising again. That's something we all can chew on for a while. How can you make monumental moments and live to multiply his movement today?